So I reset the Harugumo line because this is one of the cheapest lines to reset. I do believe the reset cost comes to about 670,000 free XP. Okay, so to be precise, we're talking about 676,300 XP, free XP, this stuff, to do one full reset of the Harugumo line. Okay. You don't have to buy the ships. You can just research them, hit the reset button, and then research them again, hit the reset button, and research them again until you've run out of free XP. I mean, that's what I did here. As you can see, I'm at ×4 research points. So I would get, for playing the Kitakaze once in a match, I would get 6,000 research points. And for playing the Harugumo once in a match, and it doesn't matter whether you win or lose, if it'll let me, yeah. 24,000, so that's 4 times 6,000, so 24,000 research. So for a total of 30,000. And you can get a further 10,000 or so from playing these ships here if you went for ×4. We don't all have that kind of free research just lying around, or free XP just lying around. I did. However, I then ground these individually using flags, and I'll show you what I mean by that. I was using 800% in here. Use your highest one if you can. 200% would take around, for a tier 5 ship like the Minakaze, about 4 or 5 battles with 805%, maybe less actually. I think I did it in 3 to get to the Hatsuharu. It doesn't take long using these flags, it really doesn't. And if you follow my handy guides on how to play these ships, I'm sure you'll be able to, like me, research the line pretty quickly. Of course, with the 200% flags, maybe 6 or 7 matches in the Minakaze to get to the hats, and then from the hats to the next ship probably about 10 or 11 matches. But of course, all the time you're earning free XP from those matches, and credits, of course, which will help in buying the rest of the line. But when you reset a line, if you intend to reset it more than once, don't buy the ships, just research the line by going to the Harugumo and researching it. Once you've researched it, don't buy it. If you're going to reset again, because the reset button will then come up, and then you can just reset again and just spend free XP. If you intend to purchase the ship, sure, you can do that, but only with the last reset. Personally speaking, I prefer to just grind through them. It's fun, it's a great line to play, and that way you can save yourself a bit of free XP, because it's quite a costly process. Okay, so today I'm talking about the Hatsuharu. I did a few matches in her last week, and I will show you a couple of matches just to give you an idea or a flavor of what this torpedo boat is all about. If we look at equipment, I've got main armors modification 1 in slot 1, in slot 2 engine room protection. If you feel you can be bothered with the coal cost, you can get engine boost modification 1 with coal, but that's such a low tier 6. It really doesn't matter that much. You could be, I was quite happy with engine room protection, to be honest. She's a torpedo boat, so we went with torpedo tubes modification 1 in slot 3, and in slot 4 propulsion modification 1. What else can I tell you? If we look at the A hull, the stock hull, you can see you get a few less hit points. Okay, 12,600. If you go to the B hull, that increases to 13,800. Note the rudder shift of 2.3 seconds on the B hull. On the A hull, it's 3.4 seconds. You will notice that. That will make a big difference to laying your torpedoes. Now, the thing to remember with the Hatsuharu is the stock torpedoes are absolute garbage. They're 6-kilometer range, which with your concealment means you've only got a 0.2 kilometer window for launching these invisibly. Not good. So I would recommend when you get the Hatsuharu, make sure you've got enough free XP here to immediately get the improved torpedoes. You don't have to worry too much about the hull. You could run with stock hull if you haven't got the free XP. And you don't have to worry too much about the gunfire control system, because all it does is adds another 0.9 to your range, 0.9 kilometers to your gun range, which honestly in a torpedo boat is not a big deal. So why do we need these? Because they've got 10 kilometer range, which gives you a invisible torpedo firing window of around 4 kilometers, 4.2 to be precise, which is great, right? That's what we want. The torpedoes do 62 knots. They do reasonable damage, 16,267. The reload time's not too terrible, 76 seconds. And so I would thoroughly recommend you get that when you research a ship. Okay, as for captain build, pretty straightforward. Same as the Minikaze, really. Spend your first point on preventative maintenance, then take last stand, then survivability expert, and then concealment expert. That's your bread and butter, your first 10 points, and that'll get you to 5.8 kilometers, which is the most important thing about a torpedo boat build. You really want to get your concealment down as quickly as you can so you can start stealth torpedoing at will and spotting for your team. And then after that, adrenaline rush. Now, it's a personal choice preference here. You could go straight to fill the tubes. I quite often like to take RPF first because I really like the extra information that gives me as to where my targets could possibly be. So up to you which one you take first, but then RPF and fill the tubes. And then that leaves you 1 point left over, and I usually stick that in liquidator. Although, personal preference again, you could spend that point on something else if you value it over your torpedoes. But this is a torpedo boat, so liquidator is recommended. If you don't want to use RPF, if you want to go complete ghost, so they don't know they've been located, and they don't know that basically at the end of the day you're sending torps their way, but then of course you don't know where they are, then you could pick up Superintendent instead of RPF for the extra smoke and extra speed boost. And then with those 2 points you've got left over, you could take Swiftfish and make your torpedoes even harder to dodge. That's an alternative that I quite often mess around with on the Shimakaze. But my recommended is RPF, fill the tubes, and liquidator after you've taken adrenaline rush. Okay? Right, let's take her for a spin. Okay, so the map's New Dawn. It's standard battle. And I'm in the Hatsuharu. Grinding research. And I might have failed to mention something about research. What was it that I failed to mention? No, I think I told you all that it was a really bad idea to buy the ship each time you reset the line. You don't need to do that. You can just research the Harugumo for 676,300 free XP and then reset it again. And you can just keep doing that till you run out of free research and then grind the line as normal by buying the ships as you go along. That's quite an important concept to get your head around. Totally understand if you haven't. Just pop some comments down and I will answer all your questions accordingly. I'm fully I'm fully out of stock this time on the Hatsuharu. I've already had a few matches in her, and I thought I would just show two of the matches I felt were worthy of a spot on my channel, as it were. Okay. Now, you won't believe it, but this really, really is, and I can't stress this enough, a random match. And because there is an ice platoon, if you like, or squadron on the other team, they seem to have broken the matchmaker. I mean, honestly, it feels like we're playing ranked, but this is not ranked. You don't get this game mode in ranked. This is a random match, 7v7. How odd. 3 destroyers aside, 1 cruiser aside, 3 battleships aside. It's quite common for squadrons to break the game, and this is one of those moments. Just going to spoke up and take the fight to this guy. He's pushing my smoke. Torps look good. Yeah, he found the gap. Okay. Now, as you probably immediately realized, the guns on the hats are actually better than the guns on the Minikaze. Which is a relief, I can tell you, especially in situations like this. He's burning nicely, he's got a broken engine, and we've made a nasty mess of him with these guns. Good Alpha. He's put the fire out, so it's just time to finish him off. That should do it. Yep. Okay. So basically, the clan with the ice battleships was looking to troll or seal club us into oblivion, because of course these battleships come with planes. So they were... That said, I'm not sure why the matchmaker did what it did. They're quite lucky, really, that this isn't a tier, let me see, tier 8 match. You will really appreciate the fact with the hats that you get 10-kilometer torpedoes as well. Another thing about this ship is it's incredibly narrow, so she's very good at skipping between the gaps in torpedo walls, which is a good thing.
Engine boost deactivated.
Koenig is actually moving away, so I don't think those torps are going to reach him. Nope. I was expecting a push, which is why I was moving away, but the second I moved away from the enemy fleet, they did the same, which I found a bit odd. I thought they were going to push this flank. Right, the ice has just taken out one of our Koenigs. The Koenig, in fact. Sorry, Koenig. Well, yeah. Wow. Yeah, they definitely were going with the old troll platoon. The chat is enlightening. I'll tell you one thing we're going to make damn sure of, if we can. Let's make damn sure these guys don't win. I'm very determined to wipe them out. Okay, so there Hatsuharu got a couple of shells into me. At least we are now aware of where he is, because earlier I was being a bit cagey because I was concerned for him. I've also got a Nicholas coming straight at me. And I'm being fired on by the Koenig, I do believe that was. Okay.
Engine boost activated.
Hatsuharu's coming out to play. Okay. Nicholas is in a lot of trouble. Yep. Okay. Do use the guns on the hats. Do smoke up and take the fight to them, because you'd be surprised. On tier, she's very strong. She's got quite a lot of alpha on these guns. They can do 2.5 to 3k a strike, which is nice. You can chunk enemy destroyers down. The only issue you've got is rate of fire, so it's a good idea to smoke up first. Alright, as you can see, the ice are now pushing towards our cap. And I'm in the perfect position to destroy their push. At least, that's what I hope. I'm going to try and get some shells on the hats, because I need him lower health than that if we're going to compete later. I'm thinking about the long game. Yeah, I was unlucky with those. Okay, I'm going to be joined by 2 of our battleships, the Renown and the Fuso, on their cap. So we're going to maintain this and maintain the pressure. Did we get a hit? Yes, we did. And a flood. Good. 10k. And a flood. And another hit for another 8,723. Unfortunately, we just lost our Visby. Yeah, I think he was sailing a little too close to the wind there, but never mind. I've got the Visby. She's a lovely boat. I like the fact that she can heal. She's got a good heal on her. Oh dear, we're down to 3 ships. And I still seriously want to win this for the team, so we're going to hang tough on the cap. I don't see why we should let the trolley seal clubbing torpedo bomber carrying ice battleships win the match, right? In their little seal clubber platoon. There's the hats. It's going to smoke up. Managed to just about avoid all of that. Those torps look good on the ice. Yep. Okay. Good. So far, out of the 7 ships, we've destroyed 3 of them. In a Hatsuharu. Yes. She's a great little torpedo boat, to be honest, and I'm happy playing against tier 7s and 8s in this boat, because I will just maintain the ninja approach of not getting spotted and laying down torps. If there's a problem with her, it's aircraft carriers. Your AA is pointless, really. It's got an AA value with the B hull of something like 44, which isn't going to do much. Isn't going to do much. Going to leave some torps on the corner in case we get lucky. And then we're going to come out and spot the hats. I really want to take this guy down if I can. He's our biggest threat at the moment.
Engine boost activated. Torpedoes astern. Torpedoes astern.
It looks like he doubled back. It definitely looks like he doubled back. He's not that side of the island anymore. From where those torpedoes are coming from, I'd say he literally U-turned. Probably didn't want the Renown to get him, so we can expect him to appear roughly where my guns are pointing right now, actually. Sort of around that area, maybe a bit further down. Yeah, there he is. Well, well, well. Who needs RPF, right? I mean, RPF is a useful tool and it's very useful in ranked, but if you use your mini-map and the environment around you and keep your eyes open, you can usually spot little clues as to where the enemy ships are. He likes that island a lot, doesn't he? Renown got him. Okay, well, there we are. That's his fun over. And now all we've got to worry about is Seal Clubber number 2 in the ice. Yeah. Who's not been clubbing very many seals. Maybe because these SEALs have got teeth and experience and over 8,000 battles under their belt. I like what the Fuso's doing. He's taking it to him.
Engine boost deactivated.
But I wouldn't be doing the team any favors by going off cap, so I'm going to stay on cap for the team. I feel like this win is absolutely crucial. Don't want people getting funny ideas about putting together troll platoons. I'm looking at you, Tren. Oh my god, some of the platoons he's put together. Those torps look beautiful. Yeah, I'm going to hit him with at least one. That'll help the Fuso. There we go. Okay, effectively halved his health. Might as well do a bit of open water gunboat. We've almost capped. And the Fuso finishes the match, netting himself a high caliber in the process. Good game. Okay, so reasonable credits. Top of the team. Going to compliment their hats. I thought he played very well. And that's the Hatsuharu. On the grind to the Harugumo. Pretty good spread of damage there. 39k on the ice. 12,000 on that one. Nicholas, 12k, 10k on the ice. 8k, 4k. It's a good spread of damage. 87k in all. 43,000 or 46,000 with the torpedoes. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, it's the Hats again, and this time we're on Trident in domination mode and a much more appealing matchmaker. We've actually got 12 ships aside this time, and it's on tier. And not an ice in sight. It's quite an open map, this one. There are islands about, but they're mostly on the left flank. There's not much going on the right flank, although there is that very crucial island between F9 and E9 to think about on that flank. I think what we'll start with is a bit of spotting for the team around Cap A and Cap B. And then if we get the opportunity to cap, we'll take it. She's not a particularly fast boat compared to the Minikaze. Top speeds of about 37.9. With the speed boost on, we can hit about 40 knots, but the Minikaze's got 3 or 4 knots on her. Where the Hats excels is the 10-kilometer torpedoes and the guns. The guns are arguably a lot better than the Minikaze guns. The turret traverse is still relatively slow, but they hit a lot harder. She is, though, most definitely a torpedo boat. Okay, I've got the Omaha with me in the Dunkirk. On our far left, we've got the Faraday. Is that a Farad? A Farragut. Yes, of course. I almost thought that was a Faraday. Farragut. With a U-69. Okay, and a Derflinger supporting. There's a gate near B, that's interesting to know. Carrier spotted him for us. Unfortunately, it is a carrier and sub match. I cannot apologize enough. Yeah. Okay.
Smoke generator activated.
I'm just laying a smoke for the Omaha. Whether he'll take advantage of it or not remains to be seen, but the idea is to light the gate or keep the gate lit. and then, or anything else I encounter on the cap, and the Omaha can sit in my smoke and farm. Oh,
Smoke screen set.
I did not see that coming. Detonation from shells fired by the Dunkirk on the gate there. Okay, I'm just going to leave some torps for the Königsberg. Or anything else that happens to be in the region, because although we are now pretty much aware of where most of their ships are, we're still missing missing about 2 or 3 ships. Of course, a carrier, that's a given. And subs. They've already lost their Gade and their Fubuki. Not the best start for Team Red.
Engine boost activated.
We're just going to turn the AA off.
Torpedoes dead ahead.
Managed to catch that torp before it detonated. Well, before it armed, more importantly. Oh, and it's always a really good idea, by the way, when you're playing torpedo boats, to check your AA isn't on. And if it is, press P to turn it off, right? Because, of course, the AA gives away your position if there are enemy planes about. I must have left it on from the last fight, the last match, and whoops. Fortunately, it wasn't fatal. I mean, because her AA has got a range of 5.8 kilometers, same as her detect, but it's useless. I mean, the only good thing it's good for is showing the enemy team exactly where you are, so I would suggest leaving it off and leaving it there. You're not going to shoot many planes down in this ship. I mean, if you look at the top right, for reference, we did 90 points of damage to those torpedo bombers. Yes, my friends, 90 points. Now, there's a submarine just over there, and there's an oil slick right in front of us, so we're going to hang around here and see if we get an opportunity to depth charge with our good friend in the Farragut. There we go. Subs coming straight at me by the look. Oh, no, he's moving away. Or is he going backwards? I think he's going backwards. Anyway, the Farragut depth charged him, so that's good. I need to avoid the Derflinger and, if possible, get back into B. So I'm gonna reposition. There, Ismail just took out our gate, and things are leveling out. They've got C cap, we've got A cap. It's going to be another close match, I do believe. I think we're on for a close one. Another thing worth mentioning about the Research Bureau is that every 3 months you get a ×2 multiplier to the first line of ships you reset. So you can get double the research points every 3 months for one line of ships. So factor that into your equations when working out how many times you need to reset a line to get the research ship you're after, or the legendary mod or module you're looking to add to your collection. Okay, so their carrier is north of our position. As you can tell, the Rujo has rocket planes heading towards my position. The Dunkirk is up there with him. I have no idea why. I assume they're buddies and he's providing the carrier with some sort of protection. But I'm not sure why the enemy Dunkirk decided it was a good idea to do that. There, Ismail just took out our Farragut, which is kind of unfortunate. Gonna leave those for the Ismail, and I've got rocket planes to worry about.
Smoke generator activated.
We're just gonna smoke up to lose those. See if we can get a fire on the Ismail.
Smoke screen set. Engine boost deactivated.
There's the fire I was looking for. Which he immediately put out. But he's pushing awfully close to my smoke, so I want to torpedo him really, but at the same time it's all about risk reward, and I think the risk is too great. So I'm just going to go dark. I think it's a little safer to torpedo him from here, and of course with the 10-kilometer torps you can do just that, but he's turning away. So we're going to preempt his maneuver and guess. If he goes north, those torps aren't going to go anywhere near him. If he goes south, we've got a chance. There's a submarine on B and a Derflinger nearby as well, so
Torpedoes to port.
torps from the sub. Not sure what the Dunkirk and the Ismail are doing, really. Submarines on the surface. That caused him to dive just in time, so I didn't get detected by the Derflinger. Although he knows I'm here, if he uses his mini-map, he'll know straight away that I'm here. There's a submarine again. I'll try and get him to dive.
Torpedoes to port.
Okay.
Problem solved, sir. Engine boost activated.
I want to stay close to B because I want to light these targets for the team. Keep them lit. And with a little bit of luck, I might get a torpedo opportunity. We'll see. Hasn't got much health left though, has he? And he is healing. Our Dunkirk just took out their Russian cruiser. But it's a pretty close match and we're one ship adrift. That submarine is a real problem. Because he keeps coming up briefly just to light me and then going down again. As you can see, he's got a full tank of air. Not sure how he's doing that, but I suspect he's using the reserve battery trick. The Derflinger is moving off cap.
Torpedoes to port.
Okay, the enemy carrier just took out our Derflinger. That's a bit of a problem. So, I've basically been sat here going around in circles for the last 3 or 4 minutes, lighting targets for the team and getting nothing in return. Our Dunkirk is in another time zone. He seems to be fighting a Farragut all the way down at H8. Any ships I did have with me are now dead. And it's just little old me and the U-69 and the threat of the Derflinger. So we need something here. We're going to need to do something about this situation. So it's looking very much like I'm going to end up having to YOLO the Derflinger. Luckily his German dispersion let him down a little there. I took more fire from the Dunkirk. who's decided to come back. Now he realizes they've got a chance of winning. So we're just going to smoke up here. Torps look good for the Derflinger. Torps look excellent. Okay, that's him gone. And we've just got a submarine to worry about. Who's leaking oil. And got me on X-ray. All the while being fired on by the Dunkirk.
Torpedoes to starboard.
Okay, let's just follow the trail of oil. I wonder where he could be. Ah, he's there. Right. Okay, and there goes the submarine.
Enemy submarine destroyed.
Alright, I'm being chased off cap by the Dunkirk. But that'll hopefully be enough to bring us back into this match, because we were definitely losing it for a bit there.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Send some torps to Dunkirk's way, but I imagine he'll be expecting those. And we're just going to try and stay dark, because we've got, what, 2,500 hit points left, 2,469 to be precise. And yeah, okay, the torpedoes are missed. He changed course. Something happened. Okay, no problem. Our carrier's dropping torpedoes on him as we speak. Got some good hits in there from the Weser. And although we're ahead on points, the Dunkirk is busy merrily capping B, and there's not much I can do about it. If I fire on the Dunkirk, I risk getting sunk. Very high risk with little reward, if any. Yeah, you can do 31 knots. Good to know. At least I can outrun him. I know French ships tend to be pretty fast, but the Dunkirk's the exception. Again, I'm preempting a maneuver from him. I'm assuming he's going to, and it looks like he is, he's going to turn in slightly. There he goes. And hug the island. Or is he going to just do a lazy circle and go straight back on himself? I never know with people like this. Very hard to predict. But those torps look good. Those torps look very good. If I don't get him, the carrier will. Yeah, no, those look great for 2 hits. Bye. Alright, so we managed to predict his maneuver. And that just leaves us with an Ismail and an enemy carrier to deal with, and we still have 2 caps. So we're in a pretty strong position to win this match. Okay, there Ismail's going to go into B, and you might be wondering why I'm hanging all the way back here. I'm on very low health. It would only take 1 set of rockets from the Raiju to take me out, and so I'm trying to avoid detection. Unfortunately, our carrier has put a fighter patrol right over my position. This is a good and a bad thing. It's good that I'm protected by the fighter patrol, but it's bad because it gives away my position to the enemy carrier. So if you're a carrier player, take notes. That said, I do believe that the enemy carrier thinks he dropped that fighter patrol to scare off the rocket planes that were coming towards the carrier. So he thinks it's an act of self-preservation rather than him trying to look after the destroyer. But that enemy carrier really wants me dead. He's looking everywhere he can for me. He thinks I'm down near A, so he's put a fighter patrol up. He's now moving across. He's getting warmer. He's sniffing around the edges of that fighter patrol, which totally didn't react to those enemy rocket planes moving through, so he's decided to attack the carrier, which is a relief because it means I can now move closer to my prey, the Ismail. But the game's over in what, 45 seconds time, and we've got 920 points on the clock and 1 cap remaining. I don't see how the Ismail is going to take the last cap before the counter runs out, so it looks like we've won the match as long as I stay upright. So it's even more important for me to basically remain undetected. And it very much looks like the match is in the bag. Okay, well, I'll be doing the Shiratsuyu next. That video will be up to watch tomorrow. And as I continue down the Harugumo line to grind research points from the clan's research bureau. Probably should have mentioned that too. You can't grind research points without a research bureau. So if you're not in a clan, get in a clan, because that's a good way to get research points. They'll build the thing in the dock. So there we go, 3 sinkings, 5 depth charge hits. How did we do on score? Not terrible. That Dunkirk had a bit of a game, didn't he? Eh? Okay, if we look at the detailed report, 9k on the Derflinger, 8k on the sub, 8k on the Dunkirk, 3k on the Ismail, and then 21,000 XP using the 800% modifier for ship research. There you go. Right, thank you all very much for watching, and if you enjoyed that, don't forget to like and subscribe. Coming up next, the Shiratsuyu.